and fragile.
And he 7'6", bro. Y'all mean 7'6". AD not 7'6". He built like y'all mean, but he 6'11". It's not it's not about a nigga being injury prone. You could say Yao Ming was injury prone, but that's abnormal to be 7'6". That's super
Yeah,
duper abnormal. It's abnormal to be 7 foot tall, but seven
and then
six.
be 7'6" an Asian nigga. Yo, I don't even think
We're not gonna talk about the
your
ages. I don't know about that physiologically resilience. Their physiological resilience. I don't know. I really don't. Not
no,
to.
not the resilience, but I'm talking about on average when how how tall is an Asian man? They're not
Oh
seven
yeah, I
foot.
see what you're saying. I see in their Asian realm in general. Yeah, yeah. I feel you. That's a
Yeah.
super body defect.
So I mean, who else? Andre the Giant, or like Andre the Giant. He had that defect where he kept growing and growing. And he never got the surgery to
And
stop
both of
growing.
those dudes are not really athletic. They're not
Who?
really athletic. Andre the Giant
Oh yeah,
and AD. AD really not athletic like that. Like he not really no specimen. You know what I'm saying?
nah. Andre the Giant. He had some weird thing where his body kept growing because it didn't stop releasing it. So did
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Big
yeah.
Show.
I often say
The
that's
Big Show.
similar to the disease that the shortest man and the tallest man in the world had. He was the shortest man, and then he was the tallest man because he had a growth on, like a cancer growth on his spine that made him keep growing. It inhibited his growth process, some shit like that.
Yeah.
But that nigga was short than the bitch, and like at age like 23 or 24, that nigga shot up to like 8 foot tall, or like
Damn.
8 or some shit, like some crazy ass shit. I think it might have been 9 foot tall. I don't know what the fuck it was. I was 9 foot
But
sound
then
crazy, but
being that big too is like terrible for your joints.
depending on how you got there, well, yeah, obviously it is no matter how big you are, but depending on how you got there, like whether it was a birth defect or whether you was just a legit, like Shaq, don't really got no defects. He's a
Right.
perfectly normal being. He's just really big
Pretty big.
because he's thick enough to hold that frame.
He was built to be able.
He's thick
He's pretty
enough.
much built
He
perfectly to handle his whole
he
body.
got enough muscle to handle that frame too. But my point is, AD is really not that muscular like that. One and two, on top of that, he's doing things against physics like dribbling, spinning, fadeaways, and crossing. You're not supposed to be doing that shit when you're 7 foot tall because gravity is against you. That's what makes him injury prone. He would not be injury prone if he played like Shaq all the time. Like, I'm not running up and down the court, bro. Like, that shit is stupid. I'm too big to be doing that shit.
Too big. Yeah. Like that shit.
It's not that the nigga is injury prone. He's not injury prone. He just don't know how to play basketball as a center. Mind you, Anthony Davis was a point guard. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a point guard his whole life up until like I think college. Like he played point guard in high school, bro. He was small. He got a late ass growth spurt. He got a late ass growth.
I thought he even played point guard in high school. I mean, in college.
He might have, but I think at that point he was still. I think at that point in high school, in college, he was like a Ben Simmons, he was a taller point guard, and I think he transitioned in college to big man to front court.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought he transitioned in the NBA. Because I
no,
remember seeing him when he was in college. He was fucking huge.
he might have played point guard in college, but he grew up his entire life playing point guard. Zion Williamson was the same way. Grew up playing point guard his entire life. Like that's why, well, not point guard necessarily, but being his daddy taught him how to be a ball handler and to facilitate, because he knew that if you don't get, to be 6'5" or taller, that you're gonna have a very hard time making the NBA if you can't pass and shoot and dribble. You know what I mean? So his
So,
dad, so both of their fathers focused on them being point guards, just in case they didn't turn out to be very tall. That's why they like that.
Wasn't Magic Johnson? That was a tall ass point guard too, right?
Magic Johnson was the tallest, best point guard of all time. He was 6'9", bro. That's LeBron height, bro. That's LeBron height. That's Tracy McGrady height, nigga. And he was a pure point guard. He was not. That nigga couldn't shoot like that, bro. And what was crazy about this nigga Magic, bro, is that how inconsistent of a shooter he was. He would always come up in clutch time. Like, this nigga got clutch threes, and like this nigga has a percentage from the 3-pointer like 13. Like, what the fuck? Like, not 13 because he ain't even shoot that much, but it's just a terrible, like, or the equivalent of what 13 percentage from three would be today. Like, he would just clutch like a motherfucker, half court shot, whatever you want, 3-point shot on somebody fully guarded. Lay up. Like, that nigga was a monster. Magic Johnson was a monster, but it was a combination of his IQ in basketball and the combination of everybody else being kind of trash too. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I love my old school players and shit, but I promise you, I've watched more old school games than anybody my age, bro, or anybody 3 years older than me. And them niggas, bro, if you watch the amount of wide open mid-range jumpers these niggas miss, you'll be like, bro, these niggas are garbage. Like, these niggas are garbage. There's no way. I'm talking about Isaiah Thomas from the free throw line in the middle of a motherfucking game. Brick. Nobody guarding him. Brick. I'm talking about plank off the back of the rim, nigga. Hard brick, bro. Like, not even close. Blink. Like, come back down the court. Steal the ball. Come back down the court. Do the same thing. Blanks, nigga. Well, nobody guarding you, bro. What the fuck going on? Like, I'm telling you, it's like, but you can't tell that shit to like my stepdaddy, who was right there watching the games, because it was a different vibe for him. It was a different vibe for him. It wasn't the precedent set that shot was supposed to be made. Like, it was still very hard to get that ball into that rim. Like, back when he was like, it's not that hard no more. It's not that, like, any NBA player right now, if you give him 100 shots, you can take the sorriest NBA player and give them 100 shots from anywhere that they choose on the court. They gonna make 90 of them hoes easy. If you not guarding them at all, they gonna make the sorriest player in the NBA will make 90 shots out of 100, nigga. If you not guarding him and you let him pick his spot on the court where you want to shoot the hell. They've shot so many shots nowadays. Mind you, back in Isaiah Thomas, they didn't have 100 basketballs in the gym. They probably had like 10. Like, facts, bro. Like, they didn't have the machine to, first of all, the personnel, the machine, they only had so many people to pay to be able to rebound the ball and give it back to you, let alone the machine to where you can just be in the gym by yourself and shoot that bitch and it come back to you. That's practice that you couldn't have got back then.
Yeah.
So many more techniques and so much more therapeutic technology to like help you rehabilitate yourself. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers ain't had that shit back then.
Motherfuckers didn't have TB12 vitamins and shit.
Right. Niggas didn't realize that you can spend your whole life in the gym and accomplish something. They was still fucking with their families. And then shit, another thing, bro. If I play for Detroit, I don't see the niggas who play for the Bulls but 2 times a year, 3 times a year, 4 times max. You know what I'm saying? I don't know these niggas. It's a hell of a lot easier to be like, fuck that nigga, bro. I don't rock with this nigga. I ain't been seeing this nigga post all year long, you know, with his family and shit like that. And I don't want to be on this nigga team. I don't know this nigga. When I see this nigga, it's smoke, bro. You feel me? That's why I was like that back in the day. I knocked the block off this nigga, bro. Fuck this nigga.
Like I said, the social media made with that and the internet, like, everybody kind of knows about each other. And then not just that, but now you get to see each other in like national tournaments. So y'all grow up being friends, and then y'all make it to the NBA. And it's like, oh, what's up, man? We cool. It's like it's not the same. These niggas ain't want to kill each other like we used to.
It's the evolution of human communication. It's not social media. We would have been here regardless of what we called it, of
Yeah,
what it looked like. It's an advancement. We would have gotten a way to be able to communicate with each other better. So now we get to hear everybody's opinion about everything.